The moment the glass shattered on the marble floor, the entire gala seemed to stop breathing. Crystal chandeliers glowed above a sea of silk gowns and tailored suits, but all eyes snapped to one corner of the ballroom where a single young waitress stood frozen, her hands trembling, her face drained of color. In that split second, before anyone spoke, before the billionaire's cold voice cut through the music, something invisible broke too, the illusion that wealth always comes with class, and power with humanity. Before the story unfolds any further, take a second to pause. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and standing up for dignity no matter how small or powerless someone seems, please like this video, share it with others, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Stories like this matter because they remind us who we are supposed to be. Her name was Maya Johnson, and she had learned early in life how to make herself small. Raised by a single mother who cleaned offices at night, Maya grew up understanding that survival often meant silence. She worked 2 jobs to support her younger brother through college, smiling through exhaustion, swallowing insults because rent did not wait for pride. The gala that night was supposed to be simple, 4 hours of serving champagne to people whose shoes cost more than her monthly salary. She had rehearsed every movement, every step, knowing mistakes were not forgiven in rooms like these. The man hosting the event was Victor Langston, a billionaire whose name appeared regularly on business magazines and charity boards. To the public, he was a visionary investor and generous philanthropist. To those who worked beneath him, he was known for something else entirely. A man who believed money gave him the right to control not just outcomes, but people. His presence alone carried weight, his expectations hanging in the air like a warning. When Maya reached his table, her hands already aching from carrying trays all evening, one small misstep changed everything. The glass slipped, struck the edge of the table and shattered. The sound echoed louder than it should have, silencing laughter and music. Maya dropped to her knees instinctively, not because she was told to, but because she knew how quickly a mistake could cost her job. Her heart raced as she reached to clean the mess, whispering apologies no one seemed to hear. Victor Langston stood slowly, his chair scraping loudly against the floor. He looked down at her not as a person, but as a stain on his perfect evening. The humiliation that followed was deliberate and cruel. He ordered her to stay down, to kneel there while she cleaned, his voice calm and cutting, loud enough for nearby guests to hear. In that moment, Maya felt years of swallowed pain crash over her at once. The late nights, the disrespect, the constant reminder that in rooms of power, she was invisible until someone needed someone to blame. The room reacted in fragments. Some guests looked away, pretending not to see. Others watched with uncomfortable curiosity, frozen between outrage and fear of crossing a man as powerful as Victor. The band stopped playing. The air grew heavy. Maya's hands shook harder, tears blurring her vision as she focused on the floor, trying to disappear into it. What no one knew was that this was not just another gala night. Earlier that day, Maya had almost not come to work at all. She had received a call that shook her world. A legal office informing her that her late grandmother, a woman Maya barely knew, had left behind documents that needed urgent attention. Her grandmother, it turned out, had been a silent investor decades ago, a woman who faced discrimination herself and chose to hide her success rather than fight a system stacked against her. Maya had no idea how significant that call would soon become. As Victor continued to assert his dominance, a quiet shift rippled through the room. A woman near the back, dressed simply compared to the others, stood up. She was older, composed, her eyes sharp with recognition rather than surprise. She had watched everything unfold not with shock, but with clarity. This was Eleanor Price, a respected legal trustee known in elite circles, though few recognized her without context. She had come to the gala not for Victor, but to observe. Eleanor stepped forward, her presence commanding without theatrics. She requested the room's attention, her calm voice slicing through the tension more effectively than any raised tone. She explained with precision and restraint that the young woman kneeling on the floor was not just a waitress. She was the sole heir to a trust that had finalized that very morning. A trust valued at several $billion, controlling stakes in companies many guests in the room relied upon, including some tied directly to Victor Langston's empire. The words landed like thunder. A hush fell so deep it felt unreal. Victor's confidence evaporated in real time. The color drained from his face as calculations raced behind his eyes. The power dynamic he had relied on shattered instantly, replaced by fear and disbelief. The room, moments ago complicit through silence, shifted its posture. People leaned forward, whispers spreading like wildfire. Maya lifted her head slowly, confusion overtaking humiliation. She did not yet understand the full meaning, but she felt the change. The weight pressing her down began to lift. Elinor approached her, extending a steady hand not as a savior, but as someone restoring balance. Maya stood, her knees weak but her spine straighter than it had been in years. Victor attempted to recover, to explain, to soften what had been done, but the room no longer listened the same way. Respect, once lost, does not return easily. Cameras came out not for glamour now, but for truth. The gala transformed from a celebration of wealth into a reckoning of character. Maya did not shout. She did not seek revenge. What she did instead left a deeper mark. She addressed the room with quiet honesty, speaking not just for herself, but for every worker who had ever been treated as less than human. She spoke of dignity, of how easily power can be abused when unchecked, and how silence enables cruelty. Her voice trembled at first, then steadied, carried by a lifetime of endurance. By the end of the night, Victor Langston's reputation lay in ruins. Contracts were questioned, partnerships reconsidered. But more importantly, a lesson had been delivered in a way no lawsuit ever could. The true measure of a person, the room realized, is revealed not when they are praised, but when they believe no one important is watching. As this story begins to close, take a moment. If this story touched your heart, if it made you feel anger, hope, or reflection, please like the video, share it, and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps stories like this reach more people who need to hear them. Before the final moment, I have one special request. Please comment below with the word dignity. If you believe every human being deserves respect, no matter their job, background, or status. Maya left the gala that night not as a symbol of wealth, but as a symbol of quiet strength. She would go on to use her inheritance not for excess, but to build programs supporting workers, education, and legal aid for those without voices. The memory of kneeling on that cold marble floor never left her, but it no longer defined her. Instead, it fueled a promise to herself and to others that no one should ever have to kneel to be seen. And in that ballroom, under fading lights and shattered illusions, the world was reminded that true power does not come from money, but from humanity.